Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. So in today's video I'm going to do a very quick May market update. I did one last month in April, so I'll go through what I was saying then and we'll see how that's kind of panned out, and I'll talk through what I think might happen over the next kind of month or so. So let's jump straight over and have a look at the charts. You can see here, this is a daily Bitcoin chart here. And this is currently what I consider a bear flag that we're currently in. Now, last month's video, I think we did it around the 9th, so it was around here. And I thought we'd probably bounce up towards this kind of level and then kind of be rejected and come down. Now, what happened is that we actually stayed within this range for longer than I kind of thought. We gradually kind of cracked our way up to the top of the range, kind of bounced back up and down a little bit. And then we had this a few days here where we were one daily close above here. We had a wick up almost to the 200-day moving average. This bright yellow line here is a 200-day moving average. So we had a wick up to there, came back down, had another wick up to it there, but haven't closed above it on the dailies, came back down. Then this was probably the largest kind of volume attempt at that. Went up, hit it on the wick, but the daily close was under that. And then the last few days we've been coming down. There is a chance, I think, that we maybe have one more kind of like leg up and attempt to hit it. I think, you know, there's maybe a 25% chance of that happening. But I think we are now coming back into the middle of this kind of range, and we will see downside momentum from here. My overall sort of outlook has remained the same. In the last video, I said that I thought if we broke around, I think I said if we broke above around 78,000 with volume and stayed above that, then, you know, maybe I would change my mind in the short term about becoming kind of bullish. And although we did break that 78,000, I had 78,000 sort of like within this kind of like range kind of here. And because we bounced or moved sideways for so long, for another 3 or 4 weeks more than I thought we would do, the top of the range here obviously kind of increases. So although we went above that 78 and we stayed above that for a week or so, we're currently, as I record this video, is 76.7. So we're under it now, but that sort of 78 kind of thousand level, we were over it for a little bit, but there wasn't very much volume. That was the other thing I said, was that, you know, if we break through that with volume and hold above it, then, you know, maybe my initial or my short-term kind of thesis would kind of like change. But you look down here at the bottom, I'll just move this up a little bit so you can see the volume here at the bottom of the kind of graph. You can see ever since sort of really here where there's some reasonable kind of volumes, it's kind of gone down and down and down and down. So there's very, very little volume. And even this little spike here, as we attempted to get through the 200-day moving average, very, very low volumes, even, you know, compared to where we were towards the beginning of this kind of bear cycle. I'm not including these very big spikes when we had that initial kind of wick down, but basically very, very low levels. So although we've kind of ground up, there didn't seem to be a huge conviction behind that, and I now think we will start to kind of come down. So my initial target will be the bottom of this kind of range, which is currently around 70,000. Now, if it happens in the next week or so, maybe that'll be up to 71,000 if it takes a couple of weeks. But I think that'll be the next kind of test. We come down to there, maybe we bounce around here, test that, and then my anticipation is we come down to this 200-week moving average, which is currently just above this wick low to 60,000. It's currently around 61,000. So I think we come down to that level and probably break below that level as well. My ultimate target is still 50,000. I'd still love 50,000 Bitcoin to start buying in earnest, but I'm also kind of like looking at time-based. If we consider that the top of this kind of market, or the last market, was October, I think it was October the 6th, was it? We're more than six months into this kind of like this year's kind of like period. So traditionally, we've hit a low around 12 months after we've hit the previous all-time high. And we're currently just over 7 months into that. So another 5 months potentially to go if it does what it's done in previous kind of cycles. There's no guarantee that it will do that. But if we're looking at a low sometime in the kind of autumn, potentially early autumn, you know, we're down to sort of like 5 months to hit those kind of lows. So I'm also looking at time-based stuff. And if we haven't got to the levels that I'd like to start substantially DCAing in by July, I will start probably DCAing in July regardless, with a view to be completely in all the crypto positions, which will be Bitcoin and Solana for me, could be other coins for you, by the end of the year. So I'll be looking to DCA. It might not be exactly the same amount kind of each week, but I will be looking to start my kind of purchases probably in July, because if we do kind of like, you know, bounce around, we never get out to the bottom of this range potential, or never get below the 200-week moving average, I still want to be positioned a little bit regardless of that. So once we get to July, or we come down towards these kind of levels, I will start dollar cost averaging in with a view to be completely in crypto by the end of the year. So sort of like probably early to mid December. Anyway, that's my thoughts for what will happen. I'm really interested to hear what you think will happen. A lot of people are still quite bullish. A lot of people think that the low is in. A lot of people are saying that this 60k low was the low for this cycle. We're going to be above that. We're not going to get back down to that. I'm interested to hear what you think. I think we will at least, you know, come down and retest that kind of 60k level. I think we'll probably go lower, but I think at a minimum we'll probably come down and test that 60k level. As always, you know, I could be wrong. Anybody could be wrong. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Do you think we're going to go down to that level? Do you think we're going to go lower than that, or do you think we've seen the low for this cycle? Do you think it's going to be bouncing around and up only? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video, but until then, have a great day. Bye bye.